All right, so hey YouTube, welcome to the August review of the dividend portfolio. So just like the other videos, we'll kind of dive through our dashboard and then go through some of what the portfolio holdings are, how they've done over the past month, what my expenses have been, how much I was able to invest this month, the dividend calendar, um, and then a few of the extra things that I've added. So I believe I added the investment graph last month. So we'll go through that, see how things have changed over the past month, and then I added this annual goals tab that I'd already kind of had these goals planned out, but figured I'd input it into this Excel sheet so that I could kind of make it more interactive and keep tabs on it within this entire Google sheet. So let's just dive right in. So first things first, the dashboard overview. So right now the portfolio value, right now I'm recording this on September 2nd. So the market is red today. It's down, which I think when you look at all months of the year, September is typically the worst average return when you look January through December. But starting them off on a red note, so I've already honestly seen this drop by over $100 today, which no big deal, but it'll go back up eventually. So right now, portfolio value is at $49,754. And I haven't added any new positions, any holdings. I've just been investing more into my sort of core positions this month. Right now, the estimated yearly dividend income would be $850. Had a fair amount from the money market fund in my brokerage account where I've put a lot of my cash to just kind of start to grow more money, grow more at like a 4% interest rate, give or take. And then, yeah. So looking down, total investments, 401ks. Here's some of my values: 105,000, 63,000, Roth IRA 18,000, Acorns around 2,000. Cash is at 40% right now, and as I've mentioned in other videos, I have a pretty high cash position, just honestly due to hopefully buying a house in the near term. Just still been kind of looking on the market, trying to find something that's worth it. Obviously, interest or interest rates are pretty high, and where I currently live and where I'm looking for houses, there's just not been a lot of great inventory on the market. Anything that's really justified with the price that things are put on the market at right now. So still waiting. So that's why I have this large cash position, and most of it is in that money market fund. So getting a decent amount of interest on it. Still have a fair amount in my savings, but maybe I'll continue to convert some of this over into that SPACs position, that money market fund, over the next month or so. But yeah, so total investments right now just dropped, but down at $238,769. And yeah, no new positions. When we go to portfolio holdings, as you can see, it's a red day, as I mentioned, but the only real positions that I saw any sort of growth in or change in my positions was SCHD, DGRO, and FXAIX, my three core positions. UNH has seen an uptick, obviously. So far, it's bearing some fruit from my initial investment, where obviously it's a risky decision to invest in UNH with everything going on with the company, but I feel like over the long term, over the next 5 years, I feel like it definitely will continue to increase in value, with sort of renegotiating its Medicare and Medicaid and all that, and then obviously with the lawsuit and the investigation. Once all that stuff passes, I think that there'll be a lot of runway for this the stock to continue to increase in value and get back up towards that $500 and maybe 600 and so on and so forth. Um, Yeah. So overall, not a bunch has changed in this. When we look at my income, expenses, and investments for the month of August, uh, overall was able to bring in $15,000. Expenses between work and personal was 8,500, for a total balance positive of $6,584. Um, Investments, I was able to invest 48% of my income, $7,000. And the breakdown of that was brokerage, $4,464, 401k, 2,500, Acorns, $55, and my HSA just under 300. When you look at my breakdown of work versus personal expenses, I feel like it's pretty consistently right around that 50% mark. I'm averaging around $4,000 on work that will get reimbursed, and then personal, right around that $4,000 mark, 4,200. So I'm still tracking this just to kind of get a baseline for how much I typically spend on a month, and figuring out where I can kind of make this, where I can save money. So obviously I spend a lot on gas because I drive a lot for work, and that is built into this personal side of expenses, which in reality, a fair amount, considering a lot of it's on gas, should probably be in this work category, but I just didn't honestly feel like divvying up that expense. Just was going to be too much of a hassle. But yeah, entertainment, like whether that's going to a sporting event or like going to the bars or anything like that. It was a lower month. Eating out, definitely an area where I can save some money. But that'll be something that I continue to work on. Sometimes, you get home late after a 12, 14-hour day and you don't want to make food, so it can be a little bit more difficult. Um, but feeling pretty good about where I was at for this month. Um, Dividend calendar now. So the the month of August, and this will be something that I'm happy I'm starting to track and will continue to track as I keep moving forward. But it's a low month for dividends. All I have is the Apple dividend coming in. So just good to know in the future if I ever want to live off of dividends, what months I'm going to be getting paid in, how much I get paid, how on average. So for the month of August, I had $331. That was between the interest from that money market fund and the dividend from Apple. September, I anticipate having a fair amount more. As you can see, already got the target dividend this morning. So a slight increase from June, but this will be a bigger month, obviously, with SCHD, MMM, the AWR water company. And then obviously I also included DGRO and everything past when I started investing in June, when I really started focusing on this account. So, yeah, I'm excited to see kind of how this month plays out, and it'll be good to kind of watch this quarter over quarter as these sort of investments change and the dividends change. So to date, within my dividend portfolio, I've totaled $138.76 in dividends. And for my money market fund, I've totaled $767.50. So fair amount between the two. And obviously this number will change, that amount invested in the money market fund, depending on when/if I am able to find a house. So we'll see. But right now I'm happy with bringing in $300 per month. I think that's pretty good with that 4% interest rate. Obviously that's more than what I would be getting with SCHD or DGRO or FXAIX per month or whatever, but I still want to start to build those positions because they're still so new. And right now I'm definitely in that accumulation phase rather than that growth phase of my portfolio. And so just got to continue to accumulate stocks and positions within these SCHD, DGRO, FXAIX. Next, what else do we got? My investment graph. So, and then annual goals, and I'll go through those goals at the end. But my investment graph. So, you can see it's starting to kind of looks like it's starting to even out. Obviously, that was sort of that initial excitement phase where I invested a fair amount in the month of July. When I look back at that, where how much did I invest in July? So I invested $11,000. Obviously, was still just kind of building those positions out, SEHD, DGRO, and everything. So, sort of my excitement phase right there. Numbers kind of dropped a little bit down to 7,000, but right near that $50,000 mark, which I'm excited to kind of pass this month. So getting there. Excited to see kind of how this graph changes over time. When you look at my total investments for the month of August, I'm at 238, so still seeing some growth, kind of flattening out a little bit, which obviously is understandable. I anticipate that happening over the next couple months anyway, just because I won't be investing $11,000 every month. And then my final graph in this area will be total dividends per year. And I'll just continue to add this up, and this obviously will be updated once per year. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this kind of changes over time. See how much more in dividends I'm bringing in. Just little things like this, I think, will keep me excited about the process. I feel like it can get kind of slow, especially in this early phase of investing for me in this portfolio, where you don't get to see the excitement of a day where you're bringing in $1,000 because of just growth in the market. You're getting small incremental amounts, and then the red days kind of you instantly see kind of that you're losing money. So I feel like being able to take a step back and look at some of these graphs will keep me engaged and excited, and understand that I'm trending the right direction if I am. And if I'm not trending in the right direction, then it'll give me an opportunity to look at that and kind of reassess and pivot and change my plan and all of that. So I'm going to keep tabs on all of these graphs over the next few months and years, and just keep updating it. It's pretty exciting. I like doing this right at the end of the month. I like seeing how things have changed over the previous month. Days can kind of go by fast, and it's nice to just take 20 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, honestly, to update all of this, make sure that everything's looking good, and yeah, kind of just get re-energized by it. And so that's where things stand there. And then finally, my annual goals. So I've already had these goals kind of set up, but I figured it'd be good to add them in. So when you look at my goals for the month of, or for the year here, my first goal is to invest $30,000 into this dividend account by the end of the year. And this is just from the month of June, when I really started focusing on this, through December. So as you can see, this updates. So say I invest $5,000 in the month of September, this bar graph will update automatically, and I can see kind of where I'm at with the remainder of this goal, which I like the interactive nature of it. But yeah, you can see $5,000 or $5,700, nearly $9,000, and then $4,000 this past month. I'm anticipating that I'll be around this amount per month for the next few months, which will allow me to hit my goal. Things may change. I may be able to invest more. I'm just kind of trying to still figure out exactly how much should just be going into my savings for investing into real estate versus how much I should be investing into these accounts. So I would love to hear from anyone watching this, kind of what they think of my strategy, how I should be investing my income, and whether I should be keeping that into a money market fund like I'm doing, or continuing to build these positions. I do want to hit this goal by the end of the year. So yeah, would love to hear what people think. My second goal for the year, by the end of the year, is to have $12,000 in both SCHD and DGRO. And so I have these attached to my portfolio holdings, so it updates automatically based off of any updates I make right here. So it auto populates it, and once I've hit that mark, it'll change this to saying complete, and it'll be green. So yeah, just obviously still in that accumulation phase. Continue to accumulate stocks and shares in these positions. And so, yeah, I want to hit $12,000 into each of these by the end of this year. Obviously, SCHD over the past couple of weeks has had a big kind of turnaround. It got up past $28 at one point in time. And obviously, in that first month, it was not doing too hot. And I was kind of fluctuating between down like 1%, 2%, and up 0.5%. And now I'm at 3% total. But this is something that I'm not really worried about the growth right now. It's just really a matter of building up my position and the amount of shares I have in the position. So second goal, get $12,000 into SCHD and DGRO by the end of the year. And this is where I stand with each of those. And then my third goal is just to hit $250,000 by the end of the year. Right now it's at $238,752, and this gets is automatically connected to this position right here. So it auto populates. So whenever I update these numbers, my total investment will be is an additive of or a sum of these 4 positions right there, and then my portfolio value in general. So it auto updates and updates this position. So yeah, I would like ideally to get this to $250,000 by the end of the year, which I think is very doable, obviously, especially if I get myself to completing the rest of these goals, it'll happen 100%. So yeah, those are my 3 annual goals. And then I also have some goals for my 30s. So right now I'm 30 years old. My goals, I think this one is doable. Obviously things can change depending on like what house I buy and life changes, right? But so right now my goal for my 30s is to hit $500,000 in investments. And then also, I don't really know if this is going to be possible or not, but I would like to receive $1,000 in dividends in a single month. I think that would just be a fun number to hit. So that's what I'm kind of going for. We'll see what happens. And then also, one thing I'm also tracking on this annual goals page is just my average personal monthly expenses. So I just wanted to kind of get a clearer picture and understanding of how much I spend personally every year, not including my work amounts, my work expenses. But so I'm going to have this trailing sort of 2-month average based off of what happened previously. And then I'm going to have this trailing 3-month average just to kind of get a better understanding of where I'm at, how much I spend personally every month. And then I'll be adding that up and averaging it for the year every year, just because I want to see how this stuff starts to change, have a better understanding so that when I get closer to retirement, I understand how much I average in expenses to make sure that, either my dividends cover my expenses per year or, I can withdraw a safe amount with those average expenses per year. So I need to know that information before I can really make a mature decision on my retirement age. So that has been the big update with this Google Sheet. Just continuing to track my goals, my expenses, and how much I'm investing month over month. So this is my updated positions. Potentially a good day to invest some more cash, so maybe I'll be doing that. And here is my general portfolio dashboard. Nothing changed with holdings. Here's my portfolio value, and yeah, that's everything. So I'll continue to invest more during this month, and yeah, update you all as things kind of continue to progress. So feel free to subscribe if you want to keep track of how this changes over the next couple months and years and all of that. I'll continue to update this page and go from there. So thanks for watching, and talk to you guys soon. See you.